What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Uncle Frank and my beautiful assistant, as always, Amora. How are you, Amora?
I'm good. Hello, guys.
This week, we are fired up over here, even though we're not getting much content, and I have the cure for all your ails. I know exactly what to tell you guys to do in this game now. I was thinking to myself, I'm weird, but I always find ways to amuse myself. So I'm going to give you Uncle Frank's weird ways to amuse yourself at the end of this video. In the beginning, as always, we're going to go over Rockstar's tweet. Fortunately, for Uncle Frank this week, it is very short. So here we go. Collectors take notice. Roleplay XP boost bonuses and discounts on tools of the trade. Collector bonuses and benefits. Roll XP bonuses and discounts on collector essentials. Combing the landscape for hidden treasures will be especially lucrative in Red Dead Online this week. Start out as a collector this week with a 5 gold bar discount on the collector's bag. If you have a Twitch Prime account that is linked to your Rockstar Games social club account, you'll get that collector's bag for free. Meanwhile, collectors of all experience levels receive a 100% roll XP boost for discovering any of the myriad of heirlooms and other assorted valuables scattered across the 5 states. Plus, you'll also receive this double roll XP boost when you turn in the Gold Panner's Dream weekly collection or any full collector's collections to Madame Nazar, either by finding her on the map or sending via any post office. There is also an assortment of discounts on tools of the collector trade, each available from Madame Nazar's shop. Take 30% off the Pennington's Field Shovel, specifically designed for archaeological digs. It will help you unearth treasures buried beneath disturbed earth mounds. Get 30% off the Metal Detector, an important collector's tool that can identify collectibles buried underground. The refined binoculars are 30% off, specialized binoculars through which dig sites glow from a great distance. Quickly seek out hidden valuables with the collector's maps are all 50% off from Madame Nazar this week. Play and get 5 ranks of Club XP plus additional bonuses. Playing Red Dead Online this week will also automatically earn you 5 ranks worth of Club XP, which also counts towards Outlaw Pass rank progression. Play before March 2nd and your Club XP will be available from the benefits section within 48 hours of playing. And in addition to the collector's bag, Twitch Prime subscribers with linked social club accounts also receive the polished copper moonshine still upgrade for their moonshining business. And PlayStation Plus members get 3 mash refills and 3 trader resupplies. Check Rockstar support for details and limitations. Okay. So, one thing I've noticed is that they basically did an update, or for each past week, it was the benefits were for each role. In other words, you had the trader, the bounty hunter, and now the collector. So they're out of that. We had, you know what I mean? We had the moonshine, right? I think we had the moonshiner too,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, we did
I
have an
think so.
XP
Yeah.
moonshiner. So the rumor was that we were getting this release or the new content at the end of February. So we are at the end of February. I'm really, like, if I had to put money on it, I'm saying it's got to be by the end of next week. I just can't.
I hope
It's
so.
been a long time. Everybody's getting impatient. I don't
Yeah.
I specifically don't watch anybody else's Red Dead channels. We've talked about this, so it doesn't turn into where you're just getting the same stuff everybody else is doing. But I can just imagine the amount of trash talk that is going on out there right now about Rockstar. I can just imagine it. I can just imagine. Because every once in a while, like random
Mm.
stuff will be recommended to me, and it'll pop up on my feed and say, recommended for you. And the title is always like, what the F Rockstar? You know what I mean? And then it's like, what? How to save the game? You know what I mean? Like, those are always my favorite. What can,
10 ways to
yeah,
save the game.
yeah,
Yeah.
10 ways Rockstar can save the game. Listen, have some patience. You know what I mean? It's just gonna be this way, man. And I'm glad it.
Hmm.
Listen, if it doesn't go this way, we're going to get a situation like what happened in GTA, where somebody just threw in a flying bike, okay, for content. This shit should be thought out, should be very well thought out, should be very well planned. I get it. It's frustrating. It's frustrating for me too. I want stuff to do. That's why I think that they should still do something for the masses, for those of us who play this game constantly. Something that's unattainable, $100,000 property. You know what I mean? A
Mm.
couple of things that aren't roles that can give the grinders and the content seekers and things like that. You know what I mean? Give us something that's really unattainable to get. And even if you let's say they put $100,000 property in the game, and you dropped 100 grand, I don't have 100 grand, right? I don't think you do either. So
Yeah.
right away it would give,
Yeah,
and we
no.
play this game a lot, so it would give the majority of the people something to grind for and do. $50,000 property, something along those lines. I really think they need to drop one expensive. I know they want to build the progression slowly, but I really think they should drop one expensive property that is going to take a huge chunk of change or make people really save up for it. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I would like to have like couple properties.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Couple that not isn't that really high value, but some that is really beautiful and really big and like you could do so much things in there. They would be really high um, value houses.
Right. Well, what I'm saying
I would like
is,
that.
I'm just saying for those of us who are looking for content right now, for something to really save for,
Mm,
something to do,
grind.
give us a high price item, give us a high price property.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be a big programming DLC or, another role or an outlaw pass or anything like that. Just a huge expensive property. I think that would solve a lot of people's problems. Um,
Yeah.
with like giving some people something to do, because the people that really love this game are looking for stuff to do, and they're obviously grinders. If you play this game, it's difficult to make money for the most part, especially if you played since the beta. So the mindset of the player who's still doing this is they like to grind for stuff. So we need more stuff to grind for. That's absolute. And I think I know we're gonna get that. It's just, how long is it going to take? But stay positive about it, man. The game is a beautiful experience. There are all kinds of
Mm,
ways to enjoy it, some of which I'll go over with you guys in a minute. And you guys, in the comment section, post your ideas on what you guys do when you're bored. What things you guys do in the game that just kind of like take the time and make it fun again for you. Like where you're not just, because sometimes you can get you just grinding, especially if you guys are doing these map wipes they call
mm-hmm.
it, where you look at that map, the collector's map that guy put together and I made the video about. If you're just doing those map wipes every day, your mind is like, you know what I mean? Like it's like you're seeing the same thing and you're going through the motions. You got to really enjoy the. Are you eating again?
Yes.
Are you? God. For those of you tuning in for the first time to this podcast, Mora has a thing where she tries to beat me in fist fights, and she's convinced that if her character gets fatter, she stands a better chance. So, just really quick, let's take a look at those plates, and that's the beginning of this. And keep it. This isn't to be funny or like, ha ha, like look, I wanted to show you. No, she does that on her own. That's just for her because she thinks it'll really help. Okay, so getting right into the thing that I think would be one of the best DLCs they could do right now. Or I don't know, what would you call it? Not a DLC, just a new role. Got the
Mm.
plates. Who shot at me? Was that
Me!
you? What's wrong with you?
Accidentally.
Put that thing on safety. What's your safety on? So the idea that I had that would be so cool, give us something to spend a lot of money on, and give us, it's kind of along the lines of what they've just done with GTA, is a riverboat gambling. So if you could buy, and this is how you start, you have to buy an old beat up paddle boat. You know what I mean? Like a river boat. If you, for those of you, shout out to
Hmm.
Ozark. I think I stole this from Ozark in a Dream. If you watch that show, but we don't have who. Well, anyway, we buy a river boat, and you have to upgrade the riverboat and things like that, like restore it and all kinds of stuff, and it'll take a while before you can start having gambling on the riverboat. I think that would be phenomenal. It's kind of jumping ahead because we've got what's our moonshining is our best business, but the riverboat next would seem like it would be really cool. It'd be a nice next step into some real money and a lot of things that they could do. And they just did it. They basically just did it in with the casino in GTA. So I feel like that's a nice little right over into this. What do you think?
Yeah, I really didn't know the GTA thing,
Well, they opened a
because I don't
casino in
play it.
GTA,
Oh yeah,
right?
that.
So I feel like
Um,
and they have card games and things like that in here. I just think it would be, and you guys always welcome in the comment section. Throw out your ideas for DLCs and content things like that. But I think the riverboat gambling would be really cool. I think that'd be a lot of fun. There's just a lot of ways you can go with that too. You know what I mean?
I would like more games. The liar dice to
Yeah, the
come back
liar's
from
dice. Yeah,
first. Yeah,
yeah, we talked about
I
that.
th
We talked about the
yeah, I think.
duels. We should be able to have duels
Mm,
again, challenging each other to duels if you catch somebody cheating.
yeah. Mm,
And
and I
shows.
haven't.
Oh my God, listen to
Yeah.
this. This would be great. So they have that beautiful theater in Saint Denis, right?
Mhm.
They should have shows where your
Mhm.
character can go up and do things in the show. Like you can have girls that want to be dancers, and you can go up and be a cabaret and blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Like that would be great. Like imagine going to see a show where a bunch of like female characters are on stage like dancing, and there's like a magician or some like they saw the girl in half. No, but you know what I mean? Actually,
Yeah.
that would be cool too. Just little shows and little things that you we can go to in here. That would be great. I'll
Mhm.
tell you why. There was a game, I'm sure it's still around, called Second Life back in the day, where there was the movie 300 came out with Gerard Butler. Let me tell you something. I went to the movie. I went to see 300 in Second Life. In when we went, like I don't know who did this. It was like a movie company did this. Whoever was in charge of 300, whoever produced that movie. We showed up to Sparta. So your character transports in to ancient Sparta. They give you the coolest costumes you've ever seen in your life. You had Spartan helmets, you had different things, you had the spears. It was amazing. We were walking in through ancient Sparta, and then there's this huge movie theater that every like a I don't know what you would call it, a Parthenon that had this monstrous screen that everybody sits their character down. So just imagine you and I are dressed now as Spartans when we fast travel,
Mhm.
and we were watching this movie, and it was the craziest thing ever. So it was like if people will attend events like that together. If you had 6 gun shooting challenges and things like that where you could go and watch people compete to see who's the fastest draw. It's like the real Wild West, like some the Quick and the Dead type stuff. I think that would be dope. You know what I mean? Like so
Yeah.
inside, let's say Valentine at this weekend, Friday to Saturday, quick draw tournament. So you go to Valentine and you watch the people have quick draw tournaments, or you can register, enter, and it's
Mhm.
like you get to it's a big deal where, you know what I mean? Like if this guy loses, he's out. If this, you know what I mean? And it's like an elimination where you're like rooting for people. I think that would be phenomenal. Quick draw tournaments, but make it dope. This game is like about immersion to me. Don't make it like you don't cheapen it and be like, yeah, it's over in 5 minutes. Make it like a heavyweight championship belt of the quick draw. You know what I'm saying? So if you see this
Yeah.
dude's like a legend now who won that. Who won the quick draw on February 25th? But you know what I mean? Like I think those types of I don't know what would you call them, games or just content. Like like having how they had the lady in the barrel, like where you could go like watch her go off the thing in the barrel.
I guess so.
You don't know what I'm talking about?
Maybe not. Maybe I do.
In single player, there was a lady that used
Yeah.
to go over the falls in the barrel, and there's a poster about it. Like if you go over
Yeah,
to,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
stuff
But
like that should be
I could only
happening.
find her in the dead in the
Yeah,
riverbank.
yeah. I never saw her like go over the side, but they could have like Harry
Oh, yeah,
Houdini
yeah.
type stuff. Like here's would be great. Traveling carnies, like with and they're devious. Like the gypsies. You know what I mean? Like that are moving through. We already have Madame Nazar. Like her people come
Yeah.
into it. That would be phenomenal. Here's
Uh,
another thing. Maybe somebody can help me out with this. You Amos Lansing we killed in Blackwater. Teddy Brown we kill in the fort. Um, his wife we haven't seen yet. Amos Lansing's wife. We haven't seen her yet. There's
mhm.
another guy who is mentioned. His name is God. What is his name? I'll think of it. Give me 1 second. It's driving me crazy what happened to this guy. Either we haven't seen him yet and he's coming, or we killed him and I can't remember it. What is
Yeah.
his? Yeah, I'll have to think of his name. It's gonna drive me nuts. While I was doing one of the stories for the show, I ran across his name and I was like, "What happened to that?" Jeremiah Shaw. Do you know what happened to him? Because
No, I don't
so
remember.
the people that are involved that were in charge of this, like that kind of put us in jail and all this stuff. It was Jeremiah Shaw, Amos Lansing's wife, which I can never remember her name, Teddy Brown, and that might have been it. And so I don't know who Jeremiah Shaw is. You don't remember who he is either, right? That's
No.
okay. So that's somebody else we haven't seen, which should be really cool. And they actually, if you Wikipedia Jeremiah Shaw, there's a picture of this guy. He's mentioned. He has like weird mutton chops or something. I feel like we've seen him in another game, but or maybe in Red Dead, the first one. But I feel like, well, he's mentioned having ties with Amos Lansing, but that was it. And I was like, I don't think I've ever seen this guy.
Yeah.
Something to look out for is Jeremiah Shaw coming out of left field with bad intentions, and the gypsy is with him. Okay, so
Do you
what?
do you remember the when in the single player there was like this herds of sheep roaming around and there was like this person with the horse and he was like guiding them and
Like
there
like a
sometimes were a dog.
shepherd.
Yeah, shepherd.
Uh huh.
Like I was wondering like there isn't here in this world, I think.
Is there?
They are only no, they're not.
Oh, they're not. Okay.
Yeah. I was wondering like why they aren't here.
Well, a
Or is
lot
it
of
going to
things.
be um some kind of role that includes that?
A shepherd. That'd be cool. You gotta
Hmm.
like move your animals from place to place. That'd be great with like free range, free grazers. Like there's a movie called Open Range that is phenomenal. Where they talk where back in the day people who raised cattle would move them from place to place across land, and they would
Yeah.
graze on the land. It wasn't their land; it was like open land. So there was like a big problem with the ranchers and the people who owned some of the property would be pissed that people who were coming through were letting their cattle graze, type thing. But that'd be cool, like a shepherd free grazer. You could start with sheep and then move up to cattle and things like that.
Hmm.
That'd be great.
And
Um,
if you had the farm, you could go and take them there and take them out,
Listen,
that kind
remember
of
that I'm
stuff.
saying this because I promise you, if you don't play GTA that much, but you get
No.
more than you could ever ask for as far as content goes eventually. So eventually you're going to have, like now they have arcades in GTA, they've got the casino, they've got, you name it, you have it. You have flying motorcycles with rockets. You know what I mean? You're gonna get everything that you want out of this game. It's just when are you going to get it? And if you listen, like we went over the the president of Rockstar North's speech about it. They're taking their time intentionally, so they don't what they call jump the shark. It's a phrase that's like go too soon, and it's over. You know what I mean? Like
Hmm.
they can make a move where it's there's no way back from it. Once they do something that is people really are like, oh, this just sucks. You know what I mean? Like, there's really no way back from it. They can't be like, oh, we're just going to take it out of the game. You know what I mean? Like, once they do something and they put some promotion into it and it's, we're in it. We're in it. So I
Hmm.
like, I'm not, I'm a fan of them taking their time. I am.
Yeah.
Okay. So, a couple of things I wanted to go over. These are questions um, that I have. So, do you remember a thing called stick to your guns? It
No,
was
I
when,
don't.
so back when the game first came out, there was a notification. I can't remember what it was. You know, it's kind of on your screen where your benefits and things like that would be now. And it said, stick to your guns. If you continually use the same gun, your accuracy will improve. Now, I notice if I switch from like a repeater, like let's say for some reason I have to do a daily and I take out a repeater, am shit accurate with that gun right off the jump. And then when I go back to my bolt action rifle, it takes a while, it seems, and I could be imagining, that's why I'm asking, that it takes a while to get my accuracy back with that bolt action rifle. Like, probably like what, like maybe 5 to 10 kills? It's not like immediate, and it's nothing you have to do like I'm leveling up a horse, but something I've noticed. Have you noticed that?
A little bit, yeah, I have.
Yeah.
Like it's harder to get the hang on it in the couple first shots.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so that is a thing, but it's nothing to worry about. You're just gonna have to deal with it for a few shots.
Hmm.
Okay, this one is something that it was definitely true in the beginning, and if it's true now, it's good to know. Does having a scope on a rifle increase its accuracy even if you're not using it? In other words, if I have a scope on my bolt action rifle, which I never use a scope on, does it help the accuracy of that gun to have the scope on? Does it help that reticle close quicker?
I really don't know.
No, no. I'm not expecting you to have answers for this. This
Yeah.
is, if you do, fantastic. If not, if somebody out there knows the answer to that, that's more why I'm posing these questions, because
Yeah.
maybe we don't have the answer, but maybe somebody out there does. I remember it used to be a
Hmm.
thing where if you had a scope on a rifle, it closed that reticle a little bit quicker. Not sure if it's true or not anymore. Okay, two more questions. Does anybody out there, and I think you are, I think you're experiencing this, but does anybody else out there, is your horse just pulling up lame for no reason? Like you're spamming X and you're trying to get the horse to move, and you're not around the campsite, and the horse is just like, doesn't want to go. Is that happening to you?
Yes. Yes, now it is. Before it was happening only to you, and you were complaining about it,
Yeah.
and I was like, "What are you saying? Like,
Really?
I'm okay," and I was running away
It
really
doesn't matter if
fast,
it's only happening to me.
but but now it's happening to me too.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it
this is,
is
yeah.
really, yeah, annoying a little bit.
Okay. So, everybody else out there, let us know if you're having the horse lame problem. I tried all kinds of stuff to fix this. I put my guns away and I would ride holding onto the reins to see if that was the issue. Maybe they did that in an update. Because sometimes I don't ride horses, or the times that I have, believe me, I'm not gonna be able to ride it with a rifle and do anything kind of, you know what I mean? Like it's gonna be a mess. So I was like, maybe if I put this rifle away and try to ride the horse like dug in on it, if that'll help. Seemed to help a little bit, but I didn't. Nothing I can say. Yeah, I did some tests with like stimulation where I stimulate the hell out of the horse, feed it the good horse meal. Didn't really like fix the problem. Um, what else did I try? There was one
It
other
might
thing.
be also that I
What?
have had that glitch that camp haven't appeared, even though it's in
No,
my
this is like
friend's
everywhere.
camp.
This is
Oh,
like I can't. If this is if you're having a similar problem, this is literally
mm-hmm.
like I'm hammering X and the horse just it changes the view too. Like it'll zoom back and forward on the back of the horse without me hitting the
Yeah.
touchpad. It's a really strange thing. I can't remember. There was a couple of things I tried to fix it to no real avail. I really haven't found a way to fix it yet. It's something I'm working on because it is a pain in the ass and it is annoying. Oh, another thing I tried. in the first Red Dead, I think it was, you used to be able to, you tried to time your X tapping to the actual, the beats of the horse's hoof. So, and it
Yeah.
wasn't just tap, 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 tap. It was like toot, 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 toot. So you would
Mm-hmm.
try to time your X. So I tried that. That was the thing that I saw that made the biggest difference. Now, maybe I'm, like I said, no proof. I haven't put any of this stuff to like, let's really try it. This is just me frustrated, wanting to just bite the controller. Um, and none of it. The only thing that seemed to work was the tapping of the X and try and get that timing down. Could be completely imaginary, like I said, but try that out. And let me know, you guys, if you're having the same problem, any solutions you've found. Okay, so now, like I said, I know the content is a little bit lacking right now, and you're grinding. I'm sure a lot of you have tons of cash out there. Um, Hopefully, we'll have some stuff to spend it on. I'm like I said, money's on the end of February. I really can't see how it isn't going to happen at the end of this month or the very first week of next month. Um, so these are some things that we did to kind of, and this is kind of how the show started, to just increase your fun while you're playing the game. One of them was we started doing we set up deeds in the game. So in other words, you guys, if you have a favorite house in the game and you're playing with the same group of people, um, or you have a favorite business that you've always wanted to run, just because Rockstar won't let you own it, you can just take possession of that. Tell your friends, this is, Steve's barbershop from now on, and act like the barber in that shop. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying company, but you know what I'm saying. Like, you could take a house, you could take a ranch, you could just take
Mm-hmm.
possession and make on Photoshop or whatever or paint or something really simple deeds for you and your friends. So now when you ride by that house, that's no longer just a house. That's that's Steve's house. And it puts some meaning into the game. That's, like I said, that's kind of how the show started. Because I always wanted to have Hanging Dog Ranch. That was like I love that house for some reason. I don't. It reminds me of the house from Unforgiven. So
Mm.
we made the deeds, and everybody got into it. They were like, oh, I always wanted to have this horse ranch, or there's that one place over by Rhodes. I remember somebody was so excited to have that. So that's one thing. You guys can actually take possession of these things, write up some deeds, and if you're hanging out on the property, and somebody's like coming on the property, you'd be like, I own this. You don't own it, but send them a message with the deed. I own it.
I own it.
I do own it. That's one thing. Another thing we used to do, or that I think is still fun, when you guys are doing the bounties, instead of just like when you select the bounty board, you're looking at the amount of money. Read what the people have done. Like, so when you're gonna, like, some of them, we used to do it like, let's see if we're gonna tune this guy up or not. What did he do? So you read their crimes. Some of these are absolutely hysterical. They are a riot. Some of the stuff that Rockstar has written for what these people have done. I remember there's one lady, she was a school teacher who killed her student with a cello, with the bow for a cello. Like she couldn't take it.
No.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Read those bounties. They're a riot. I don't do it anymore either. It's something I got to get back into doing. But I used to read them out loud. I used to make everybody wait. I'd say, okay, this is who we're going after. Because then I would, based off of the information, I'd decide how we treated them. Like if it was like some egregious crime and we just couldn't take, we're tuning them up and then killing them. You know what I mean? Dragging them behind a horse. Or if it was like something really, you know what I mean, something really simple, they got smacked around and brought in alive. It was just really, it brings meaning to what you're doing. Because then when you see this guy,
Yeah.
like I remember the lady who did it, like who killed the student. I was like, I kind of feel for you. I get it. Some kid in fourth grade really pissed you off. She was like, give me that violin. You're done. I'll show you, Stevie. Okay. Apparently, Steve is all over the place tonight. Steve's got a house and he got killed with a bow from
Yes.
from a music teacher. Okay, so those are two. Do you have any? You want me to go again? I got another one.
Go go.
All right, you think of. I want one from you. You're not getting out of this with tonight with like not
Oh,
doing. You gotta
come
go.
on.
You're doing one.
I hate this.
The
I'm so
pressure's on.
bad at it.
I know, I'm just teasing. But you're really doing one. So anyway, the other one, and this one is a absolute riot. This is I end up owing so much money in bounties, and I'm trying to help. Go into a town and pretend, dress however you want. Like I said, you could take any role. You could be the barber, you do whatever. Playing the sheriff is one of the funniest things you could do. Just go into town, just hang out in the sheriff's office, and act like a sheriff. Go into general chat and just, if you have to laugh, mute your microphone. You know what I mean? So if somebody starts acting up, you can go straight John Wayne on them. You know, and just get into the part and act like a sheriff. It's a
Dress like a sheriff too.
dress like a sheriff. Get into it, man. It's a riot to do, and you could just you'll see the funniest shit if you just sit somewhere in a town that is like Valentine or Saint Denis or Blackwater or Rhodes. If you go to those towns, within a half an hour, you're gonna see some weird shit happen. 100%. 100%. Sometimes that's my favorite thing to do is just sit in a town and watch people go by and just the crap that happens. Cause it's like watching people act however they really would act if there was no consequences. You know what I mean? It really is. Like you'll just see somebody like go by. Remember we watched that lady, a perfect example. We've watched that girl beat up that one guy for like 45
Yes.
minutes in the street with axes and you name it. They were savages to each other. We just sat there with our lanterns watching the show. That's what I'm talking about.
On top of our horses too,
You
like
can,
watching.
yeah, you can be whatever you want to be in this game, and you can just because Rockstar isn't offering it as an option to own or operate at this point doesn't mean you can't take possession of it and hang out there and make it yours in any server you go to. And it's a good go to. It's a funny thing to do, man. You can have any job in here you want. And it's even funnier if your stuff is a little bit more obscure. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just finding people sometimes. I know what they're doing because it's funny. And I remember one time when I was at Hanging Dog Ranch, there was a kid that was in the house. And I went to go in the house and he was in general chat. He was like, "Don't come in here, Frank. Get off my property." And I was like, "Ah ha ha." Like, I love this kid. You know what I mean? Like, get off my land, pilgrim. He was going to fight for that house like it was his. It's great. Get it. You guys can get into that. Like I said, read the bounty posters. What else? What else was it? Oh, set up the deeds for properties in the game, things like that. So, you have anything yet?
Well, I do like to do this. Like, I have the bounty wagon, and it's tall enough to me to use it as a leverage, like go in the higher places where
Right.
you shouldn't be going. So I do go and Saint Denis, and I take
Oh,
the wagon and I go to the balconies where you shouldn't like you usually don't get
right.
in. And there was this lady who was cleaning the windows, like going like around the Saint Denis house, like
Yeah.
it was like um, in the balcony, and she was cleaning every window a little bit, and then she went to the next one and cleaning there. Like it's funny to see how the NPCs are like working if nobody has been there, being like player
Yeah.
shooting.
To make them
So
run.
they are like going around doing their own stuff. Sometimes I can hear some weird stuff going around, like uh, I was in the docks and I could hear like something about Gorma,
Yeah.
like about the ship and Gorma, but I couldn't hear it really well, but I could hear those words. I was like, what? Can we? I was like, I hope that we will get sometimes like the ship that take us to the Gorma.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm sure we'll get
uh,
something. I'm not sure how
yeah,
that'll go, but it doesn't make sense to waste the whole world on a, what, very
yeah.
short part of the story mission. Or
There's
story, yeah.
also nice birds like parrots.
Yeah.
They are beautiful. So I would like to go there in some point again.
Now,
Um,
how did you? So you when you? Because I didn't get that far in story mode. I got right up to that point. But when you get to that point, you play the whole time in Guarma, right? You're not jumping back and forth.
No,
But it's
you are there in one time
mm,
only. And
it's
if you are
very
not
easy
like
to
if you
do.
are doing yeah, but if you are doing all the time the story missions, it's really quick over and you are back to the
Hmm.
mainland again.
Oh, okay.
So if you are haven't played that yet, take your time in there and
Yeah.
go and see a little bit.
Well, I did the I snuck in that, you know, when you used to be able to kind of go through Tumbleweed, or have a friend that was already there and you could um, just join on them and
It's
explore it.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's beautiful, and it could be a great part of the game for sure. It's very easy for them to do. It's a world that already exists in here. It's super easy for them to include that. What I don't, I
Yeah, I
mean,
like the
yeah,
waves in there and the beaches. Like
yeah, the
there
whole
is
thing.
like re yeah. Oh,
Yeah, they did a fantastic job with the coloration of the water. If you guys haven't seen it out there, Guarma's it's basically Mexico, and a really nice part of Mexico. It's got some forts. If you go over to New Austin, you can kind of look out with your binoculars and see some of the forts on the coast. Um, that's kind of the beginning of Guarma, and on the other side of it, I think. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. We got anything
mm,
else?
um, I forgot it.
You
I
gave
had
up on it.
something.
You had some. All right. Well, think
Yeah.
about. You got a few more minutes, because since this week is big with the collector, we're getting 30%, or basically, I think it was 100% extra. And that was another thing I want to talk about. It was confusing to me whether we get a 100 XP bonus. So basically, if we're normally we're going to make 100 XP, do we make
Mm.
200? If we're going to make 200 XP, do we make 400? That was the way I read this. That was the way I understood it, and I'm not sure if that's accurate when it comes to the
I don't
bonuses
think
this
so.
week. Yeah, I don't think that's right either. Um, let's
I
see.
didn't see any when I go and pick them items. I
Yeah,
couldn't see any difference really.
right. Uh, it says, meanwhile, collectors of all experience levels receive a 100% roll XP boost for discovering any of the myriad of heirlooms and other assorted valuables scattered across the 5 states. So it sounds like you're getting a 100% roll XP boost. But is that just... Yeah, no. That's heirlooms and assorted valuables. It says you're getting a 100% bonus. So we'll see. I don't notice that. I thought maybe when you sell the collection, that might do it, but it says when you find
Maybe.
it. It says when you find it, according to this. Should be just
Mm.
when you find it. Okay.
May
So,
maybe it's not working.
yeah, maybe it's not working yet. So, while this week is going on with the collector, use the map that the collector's map, guys. This would be a great way to kind of save up your XP, get some extra money in the bank, especially because it's double XP. Go around and use the map, grab a bunch of these collectibles, complete your sets, so that way when the Outlaw Pass comes out, you can just dump the sets. You'll have a bunch of XP, level that bad boy all the way up, and you'll be good to go. Or you're just putting money in the bank, basically, that you're not going to touch until these things come out.
Mm.
I love it. And I love each and every single one of you. And that is no bullshit, man. You guys are the best. I want to thank you guys for tuning in from the bottom of my heart. It really does mean the world to me, man. Stay safe out there. Remember that Uncle Frank loves each and every single one of you. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, ring the bell, the whole damn thing. And we will see you guys really soon.